The second biggest population in the world after China is the one that I've been waiting to jump into, to get ready. But I don't think Jeunesse was ready for India. I don't think India was ready for Jeunesse. But things have changed in India with GST, the monetization, the Aadhaar card, all of these regulatory items that are now in place that help make business easier. We also have strong leaders around the world who are ready now to tackle India. And we also have Indians living around the world who've joined Jeunesse, who've been wanting to bring the business back to the motherland, to the home country. All of it is happening now, and it's good timing, and I'm pleased that we can now color India in red. And then I look forward to the day when we color in the neighbors in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and Pakistan and Afghanistan, even up into Nepal. I know that there's already strong interest there. I've been to international conventions where people from places like Nepal and Bangladesh have traveled begging, saying, Jeunesse, please come to our country. I say, we will, but first India, because India is the heart of the region. India is where it will happen, and then it will be India that brings the business to all of the neighbors. So, offices. We've set up offices in many of the countries around the world. We're doing so now in India as well. I would love to say that the office is in Mumbai, but it's not. It's in Delhi. First, we've set up the office in New Delhi, Aero City, right near the airport. I looked at it 2 days ago, and it's a mess. It's just concrete. It's walls, concrete mess, but they tell me in 2 months it's going to be ready. So I'm coming back in 2 months for the official opening of the India office, India region office, and then we add that photo up here as well. That's the first office. People have told me that Amway has an office in every state of India, or a warehouse or a depot in every one of India's states. We don't yet. We just have one in New Delhi. But I see the day when we grow enough that we can put an office in every part of India to service you better. So that even in Mumbai, you can just drive down the road to the Jeunesse office, Jeunesse warehouse, and pick up your orders daily and live. So, our birthday, we had a birthday just a couple of weeks ago. So this slide is now old, but Jeunesse was born on the 9th of the 9th, 09, which is the 9th of September, 2009. So on the 9th of September 2017, we've just turned 8 years old. So I have to get this updated for next time. But we're only 8 years young. But have a look at what we've done in our 8 years. We reached $1 billion of sales in 2015. So not 1.1 in 2015, but then the next year, last year, 1.4 billion. So this is our third year operating as being a $1 billion a year company. Last year, that gets a round of applause, because I'm going to tell you how significant that $1 billion milestone is. Very few companies will ever achieve $1 billion, and no one has ever done it in our industry as fast as Jeunesse has done it. Last year, we also announced that we've achieved $3 billion in cumulative sales. So that's total sales since the beginning. But already, again, this is old. In a few months, we'll announce 2017 business results, and that is certainly going to be in the 4,000s and maybe even 4 billion and maybe even 5 billion. So that's our sales history and how we've grown. Let me show you in comparison where we sit compared to some of the great giants of business. You know all of these names. Triple Diamond Teresa, in your last presentation, I think you mentioned every one of these companies, and everyone in India nodded, and some people even have worked for this company. 2 people raised their hands to say they make money from some of these companies. But you can see how long it took each of them to achieve US $1 billion a year in sales. So Jeunesse, it took us 6 years. So in comparison, we have grown to be the same size as fast as Apple. If you're looking at the same starting dates, Apple did $1 billion in 6 years. We did it in 6 years. We're the same as Facebook. Amazon, they beat us. They're a little bit faster. They did it in just 4 years. eBay, we're faster than eBay. Jeunesse Global achieved $1 billion 1 year quicker. And Google, they're a little bit faster as well. So that gives you some idea of how fast we've grown. But keep in mind, we are the babies. They're much older than we are. So their names are more readily known and available. But I can tell you, once we've been around operating as long as Apple, I believe that the name Jeunesse will be as widely known in India as Apple. So you mentioned Apple products, you can also mention Jeunesse. So of course I know about Jeunesse. Right now in our industry, we call it the direct selling industry, and we do multi-level marketing, a few names of what we do, network marketing. We're number 14 on the direct selling global 100. So of all direct selling companies, we've risen to be number 14. Now keep in mind there's thousands, there's more than a couple thousand identified direct selling companies. But we're number 14, and of that list, number 14, we are the youngest, which confirms that we are the fastest growing to achieve this rank and to even overtake companies that are 20 and 30 years old in operations. We have, when you look at this one, this is another ranking. This is what they call the Inc. 500, which is a list of all of America's privately owned companies, and we are an American headquartered company. We came in at number 481 on the Inc. 500, which means of all businesses in America, not just our direct selling, but all businesses that are fast growing. We're one of in the top 500 fastest growing. But of interest to us is we are only direct selling company on the Inc. 500. So we're the only direct selling company that has achieved that growth award, which again verifies that we are the fastest growing, because no other company in our industry is growing faster than us, otherwise they'd be on this list as well. And this is our third year, 3 consecutive years, we've been on the Inc. 500 list. Awards come in like crazy. Almost every week we're being told of a couple more awards we've received. From our communications, our marketing, our tools, our compensation plan, the events that we have, even one great award for our ethics in our own industry. They gave Jeunesse the Ethos Award for our business ethics. So we've had 228 awards and counting. But almost half of those, 117, we achieved just in the last year of 2016. What that tells me is people are looking at Jeunesse. They see that we're doing something really good. A lot of them are copying us as well. But we've been awarded for what we do, which is groundbreaking. We think differently. We do things differently. And we are the envy of our industry. I want you to see what we've done so far as our sales. I printed it graphically. I know I've been told that Indians like numbers, they want stats, they want figures, you like graphs. Well, this is who we are and what we have done. From our very beginning, 2009, our first year of operation was 30 million. Our second year, 65 million. So you see we've doubled, and then we doubled again and doubled. We've pretty much, or more than doubled our sales every year, year after year for our first 6 years. 2015, we're at 1 billion. Now, once you become a billion-dollar company, it's really hard to keep doubling at that point. So we went from 1 billion to 1.4. But our next goal is we want to reach the 3 billion mark. And after that, we want to reach the 5 billion mark. But our ultimate goal, we want to be a $10 billion a year company in sales. And we know we can achieve it because others in our industry, the ones that are top, like the number 1, 2, and I think maybe 3, the top 3 companies, and all of those 3 are represented here in India, they are all around 10 billion. So we'll get there, but we have a shorter term goal, and it's what we want to achieve by 2020. Our goal by 2020 is just to get our sales to 3 billion. And in order to do that, all we need to do, so keep in mind this was double, double, double. In order to get to 3 billion, we only need to grow by 20%, then 20%, 20%. If we can just increase our sales by 20% every year, then we will be at our goal of $3 billion by 2020. Now this is important for India. I want you to understand this part, that all of this history from the very beginning to right here, the middle of 2017, that is without any help from India. That's our past. India has not been open or sales counted. Now from this point, from 2 weeks ago, this is what we can achieve with India. With India's help, we only need 20% growth. Do you think with India's help, the contribution of India in our sales, can we just increase by 20% globally, you think? Yeah. Easy. The second biggest country, economy in the world, the number of people that you have, the strength, and particularly your skills with networking, your entrepreneurial spirit, I'm so excited for the unknown, which is India's contribution from right now. But I have no doubt now that India is part of our family and sales, that this 20% is going to be easy. So that's what you're a part of. That's what you're contributing to, and that's the journey that you're on if you join Jeunesse. Now, like I said, the future we don't know. The past we do know. I know exactly what Jeunesse has done. These are real figures. But one of the best ways to predict the future is to understand the past. I want you to understand well what we have done, what we've achieved in the first years of our operation, and I have a quick video to show you some of our most significant milestones. Let's have a look. So that is where we've come from. That's the Jeunesse journey that's taken us to this point today. But history is going to be completely rewritten from this point onwards with the inclusion of India. Your country is mighty. You cannot underestimate what India is capable of. Here in India, then the greater India region, but also all around the world. This is a significant week for us, or this month, the start of Jeunesse Global in India. We have huge expectations. I'm excited to see who the first diamond will be. We have leaders from around the world who are investing time, money, effort, traveling back and forth to India to help support you, but also to help identify who is going to be their first leaders. Who are those rise to the top that they will work with to help create their legacy teams in this new nation. Now, before I finish, I just want to mention one thing that is very special to us, and that is our charity. It's called Jeunesse Kids. And Jeunesse Kids, we keep a certain percentage of our sales, and we do other deeds throughout the year to raise money for this charity. And we work with different charities like this one, Free the Children, to do good projects around the world, mainly targeted to help children, advance children, in their education and their health. We have done projects in China, around the Caribbean, in South America. We've been involved in projects in the Philippines, also in Australia. One of the most recent big projects we did was in Africa, in Urquhart village in Kenya, with a great degree of malnourishment and poverty, where we've helped to build a number of schools in this village, as well as maternity units, educating the farmers, bought a van to help them operate. So this is what we've done so far. And now that we're open in India, I know there's also great needs in certain parts of India. And I look forward to working with our management team to identify suitable projects where we can help with Jeunesse Kids here in India to make a difference. So that's Jeunesse Kids and current charity, the We Charity. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker. He came up on stage earlier. He's from the United States. He is our Chief Development Officer. I'm going to show you his slide. His talk is entitled, Why Jeunesse? His job is to travel the world and help develop our field, develop our leadership, and he also helps develop our incentives. He's a great man with a huge heart, and he is tough. And I'll tell you, last night I ran around Old City, New Delhi, and someone had this cart with a leaf, and they put all of this stuff on the leaf, and then they put this powder, and then they lit it, and it was on fire. And then he opened his mouth, and they stuck it in his mouth while it was burning, and he ate it, and he swallowed it. He's more tough than I am. He loves India. He is Dennis Windsor, our Chief Development Officer.